And the one who loves violence his soul hates. And upon the wicked he will rain snares, fire and brimstone and burning wind will be the portion of their cup. For the Lord is righteous, he loves righteousness, and the upright will will behold his faith. Again, we've talked about this. David, before he was king and as king, David was a marked man. Saul, of course, chased him for quite a time, trying to kill him. And then once he was king, he was constantly fighting battles. That was David's lot in life. And as such, David has a lot of psalms where he's talking about and singing about God and how God took care of him and was a defense for him. I think there's something to learn here. And I think one of the things that should be a takeaway is when the world, and I say that loosely, folks, I don't believe the world is out to get us as Christians in general, okay? I want to make that clear. When I say when the world, I don't mean everyone who's not a Christian is out to get Christians, because that's definitely not the case. But I guess when those in the world who decide they don't like Christians, or they begin blaming Christians for bigger things or other things, and they begin to go on the attack, as Christians, we have to remember our job isn't to turn around and also go on to attack. In other words, when those who are truly against us, when they go on the offensive against us, it isn't our job then to turn around and also go on the offensive against them. And this is where our relationship with God comes into play, folks. We need to let the Lord fight our battles. Now, that doesn't mean we don't stand up for what is right. You know, we live in the United States of America. We were given rights in the founding of our country. When you look at the Constitution and the different amendments to the Constitution, the different Bill of Rights that exist, we have rights as Christians, and we should stand up for those rights. We don't just sit back and let things take place without having a voice. But for David, instead of at times seeking violence, David went to the Lord and allowed the Lord to work. And I think that's one of the things we have to remember in the face of true persecution, whatever that may be, whether it be coercion, violence. One of the things there is a movement that it's so funny. You see a movement saying, in church's tax exempt status, and what they don't realize, and we don't have a tax exempt status. When I go buy something for the church, we pay Georgia taxes. There's a lot of states they don't give churches tax exempt status. Now we don't pay property tax and other things, and I think that's an area you're going to see those who are secular and do not like churches having any type of a benefit. I think you're going to see them begin to attack that in parts of our country in the coming next couple of years. There's definitely a movement against that, and as they do that, this is where we have to let the Lord take care of us. We can definitely allow groups, there are Christian law groups and others that take up these battles for us. But ultimately, when it's said and done, we have to fall back and trust God, and that's what David did. Ultimately, God is God. He is the Lord. He's the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and He's who we have to trust. That's the foundation of our faith in Christ, is then trusting God with everything, even in times of trouble. That's why he titled this psalm, the Lord, a refuge and a defense. And that's exactly what it do, folks. He's going to take care of us. Nowhere does the Bible guarantee that we're always going to have a perfect, easy, just super duper life as followers of Christ. But what we can take heart in is knowing the Lord is going to take care of us. We're in the year 2020, and the gospel is spreading. People are coming to know Jesus still, all because the original apostles were obedient, and for them, they faced persecution unto death to go tell others about Christ. And so we have to take refuge in the Lord and trust Him. And so, no, that's something David does. We're going to see these type psalms as we go through the book. We're going to see quite a few of these. This was a big thing for David. I think he sang these songs as a reminder for himself that God was his refuge. I can only imagine being in his shoes, where it seemed like you were always the target of different things. And so I'm sure these songs were a reminder to others, but they were probably comforting to him, because they remind him that God truly was his refuge, and that no matter what the wicked did, ultimately they were going to answer the Lord. Look at verse 7. It says, "For the Lord is righteous, he loves righteousness, and the upright will behold his face." And see, that's the key, folks. That's why we have to pray for those around us who don't know Jesus, because I know that I'm going to see his face. But what about that person out that I may run into today? And as I have those opportunities, I need to be sharing Christ so that they too have a chance to behold his face if they give their life to him. Folks, I hope you have a great day. Remember, we'll see you Sunday at 11. Remember, we're meeting in person. You can look on the website. You can scroll back through the Facebook page to find the document that talks about our guidelines. We are requiring a mask. That's one of the biggest ones to remember, and we seat people. But we'd love to have you. But if you can't come in person, I was talking to someone today. They didn't realize that we were still doing the radio. They don't have the internet. So if you know a church member or someone who's come to church in the past that doesn't have the internet, please let them know that we're meeting in person again. If they're a church member, they got a letter. But let them know that we're meeting in person again. But also let them know that we're still running the radio. We've got several people now who come and they park on Sunday mornings at 11, and they turn the radio on. They don't feel safe coming in right now because of health problems. They don't have internet at home, and so they come, they park, they turn it to 91.3, and they listen to the radio broadcast. So please let people know about that if you know someone. Even if they don't go to our church, folks, if maybe someone who has a church home, they're not worshiping right now, or they can't go for some reason, let them know that we're on the radio. Definitely share that with other people. But we'll see you then. Hope you have a great week. And remember, if you need anything, please let us know. Give us a call. Let us know how we can help. God bless you.